New features are everywhere at MATC, and all those renovations require planning. We'll show off what's new on campus and see what goes into creating indoor spaces with a look into MATC's interior design program. Plus, we'll fly over to the Oak Creek campus for a trip through the aviation program. All this and more on a new season of MATC Now. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles, and we're so happy you joined us. Today, I'll be accompanied in studio by my distinguished co-host, Lauren Baker, an MATC board member. Lauren, thanks so much for joining us here today.
James, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
All right. Lauren, one of our longest serving MATC board members, tell us what got you into serving, wanting to serve our community and our campus as a board member.
You know, it's interesting. When I first got in printing and graphic arts, I went to a school a lot like MATC down in Chicago. So I really learned firsthand the value of technical and hands-on education. So when I got the opportunity to join the public board here at MATC and kind of be part of the amazing things our students and our faculty and staff do, I mean, it was just a great way for me to be able to give back.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Lauren. We appreciate all you do for our student body as well as our community, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. But first, let's barnstorm over to the Aviation Center with field correspondent Akira Quinn. Akira.
Thank you, James. Today we're here at Oak Creek's campus Aviation Center, where students here learn how to maintain and fix these beautiful aircrafts. Check in back with us soon, and you'll get an up-close look at this view.
Thanks, Akira. We'll check in later to learn some more. You know, welcoming faces is one of the best ways to leave a good first impression. And student producer Chris Rayner had the chance to sit down with hospitality program instructor Carmen Smalley to go behind the scenes into her career. But before that, student passion reporter Aida Penaru and student producer Ben Kadrowski will show us the story and value behind one of MATC's student clubs.
College life is hard, and for many students attending MATC, most of their time is spent in the classroom learning or the library studying. That's all important, but they're not fully developing in the ways they should be doing just that. Enter the clubs, which help with socialization, team building, and leadership skills. Today, our student passion reporter Aida Penaru sat down with the Asian Student Association Club to discuss some of the benefits to being in a club at MATC.
Are there any other skills that you develop as?
I would say better communication, really, because back in the time, it was just like text and there, but then when you get more into text, you get more into FaceTime, more Zoom calls, or just more Google chat, or in-person meetings. So I just say communication, you get better more.
Do you think being a part of a club has made it easier to form friendships?
The aim of the clubs generally is to connect people because of their common interests. So if it's not only like a phrase-based or like ethnical-based things, it's for interests. So someone really likes to do K-pop things or K-dramas or mangas, or just generally to have a cuisine of the Asian cultures, which is helped to connect us each other. Not only that one, also we recently started to do in-campus and out-of-campus activities to be getting together, which is really help people to break the ices and be close to each other and one step close to each other's.
Overall, why do you think clubs are important to the college experience?
I think it's important because you get to meet people, other than just come to college to get to classes or get your degree. You're here to have fun.
College experience is generally one of the funniest and rememberable part of the life of all the students. So it's better to do something and regret, and rather than to not to do and just to say why I didn't do that.
Clubs are important for a variety of reasons, but the biggest one is what each individual person can get out of it. Whether that be friends, a cause to work for, or leadership skills. There are many benefits to joining a club, and anyone is able to join. Clubs are made for anybody, and everybody can get something out of joining one.
The hospitality industry is at the heart of human connection, shaping how we travel, work, and relax. Hospitality instructor at MATC Carmen Smalley has had over 16 years of experience in hospitality all around the country. She pushes her students to turn ordinary moments into lasting impressions.
My role here at MATC is I am the lead faculty member for both the event management program and the hospitality program. The field of hospitality is just that. It's being hospitable. It's about serving others in like a tourism, hospitable way. Industries that this kind of encompasses. So a lot of people think of hotels, restaurants. This also includes, cruise ships, rental cars, airlines. I started as a hotel sales manager at a property in Wisconsin Dells, and then just kind of moved up from there to like a director of sales, some different properties. Actually got to move around a little bit, lived out in Salt Lake City, lived down in Illinois. And then from there, I was a national sales manager for the Great Wolf Lodge. So they had 9 properties across the US at the time. So I actually sold for all 9 of those properties. So yeah, my biggest motivation of teaching and helping students in hospitality is just to really see them succeed out in the industry, and just watching students take that knowledge and take those skills that they learn and stuff they learn from what else we bring into the classroom, and then see them actually using it out in the field. So I serve on several different boards. So there's the Greater Milwaukee Hotel Lodging Board that I serve on. It's made up of various general managers of properties here in Milwaukee. When I say properties, I mean hotels. And then there's a few other offshoots of other people who are involved in the hospitality industry that belong to it. There is the Wisconsin Hotel Lodging Association as well. And all organizations, we just try to be that bridge for those students to those organizations. Yeah, probably the biggest impact is, again, seeing the students succeed out in the industry. They're not just going out and working the job, they're actually, climbing the ladder, climbing the corporate ladder, like we say, or, planning some really amazing events. We try to keep in contact with our students as much as we can. We run into them, as we're out and about doing things in Milwaukee, but it's just great seeing them, succeed in the field.
Hospitality is more than a service. It's a global network that thrives on creating memorable experiences. Every detail from the way a room is prepared to the warmth of a greeting. And teachers like Carmen Smalley are what the industry is powered on.
Carmen really knows how to be a friendly face.
Oh yeah, they sure do. It's awesome to see how respected they are.
While Carmen takes care of the people, let's see how those airplanes are being taken care of out there with field correspondent Akira Quinn down at the Aviation Center in Oak Creek.
Thank you, James. Today we're here at Oak Creek Campus Aviation Center, and I'm here with Michelle Guzman. She's an instructor here at MATC. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about the department and what it consists of?
Yeah, absolutely. So our program is a 2-year program where we take individuals with any level of experience, whether you were a mechanic before or like me when I was a student here, I'd never picked up a wrench. And in those 2 years, we train you and get you ready to take an FAA exam so that you can become a certified aircraft mechanic.
Oh, that's really cool. Over here, I see we have a huge plane. This plane looks really old from my view. Can you tell me, how did this plane get here?
Yes, yeah. So our planes are all pretty old. They're donated to us, usually in a state of disrepair, and they will never fly again. They're considered unairworthy. So it's the perfect platform for a student to work on, to go in and tear things apart and learn how everything works. So they are old, yes, but they work perfect for students.
And over here, I see that there's a lot of components right here. There's a lot of digi-daggies. I don't know. I'm clueless. Please explain to me what's going on.
Absolutely. So this is a Cessna 337, and you'll see in the cockpit that a lot of the instruments are taken out and kind of messed with, and that's because our students go in, sometimes they're removing and replacing, sometimes they're performing repairs, or just learning about how the systems work and how they all go together. So that one is not going to fly anytime soon.
And over here we have some engines. These engines have a lot of controls on here. Can you explain to me what they are?
Yeah, so these are our engine run stands. So students, once they reach the power plant part of the program, that's a lot of P's, they're assigned an engine, and the whole goal is to get it up and running by the end of the semester. So we have over here on the front of the run stand, you'll see that we have instruments just like inside the actual airplane. So when we take them out there, they're doing all the same checks and monitoring all the same things as they would inside the aircraft. It's just a little safer to be on a run stand.
And I have to ask right here, this to me looks like a circus ride. How in the world did you guys get this here?
So this, we actually do call it the circus stand, or the circus cart, and it's been here since before I was a student, so I don't know where it actually came from. We may have made it, but I like to just say that the circus donated it to us.
That's really cool. And then we get over here, this is a helicopter.
Yes.
Wow, this is amazing in my view. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yes, so this is our Bell 206 helicopter. I would say it's kind of one of the student favorites. It's just something a little bit different.
Yeah, and then what are the components of this helicopter? Why is it different from other planes?
So how it operates is completely different. So in the cockpit of a standard aircraft, you're going to have a yoke, so it's kind of like a steering wheel, where in a helicopter, we have, it's like a joystick, but we call it a cyclic, and so it goes forward and back and left and right, and you can see it's moving things up there. And then over here we have our throttle on our collective, which also moves things. So it's very different. It operates differently than a standard aircraft.
Oh, that was amazing. I learned a lot here just in like the minute we've been here. But you have taught me so much. You are a great educator. Thank you for being here. And back to you, James.
Thank you, Akira. The aviation program is a great place to start for your career to really take off. Now, if you prefer to stay on the ground, MATC's interior design program might appeal to you. Student producers Darius Jackson and Stephen Brannon give us a look into what it takes to create a welcoming atmosphere. But first, student producers Beckett Williams and Victor Lowe will show us how effective interior design can be with a showcase of MATC's new student lounge.
With the start of the new school year, the workload can pick up pretty fast. With the new addition of the MATC Downtown Campus Student Lounge, taking a step back from school or studying for your next test was never easier. The new student lounge is located in the S building on the 3rd floor near the cafeteria. Open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday. Many students have already been taking advantage of all the new additions, such as pool, ping pong, foosball, Uno, TV monitors you can plug your consoles into, comfy couches, and much more. With extensive seating, free Wi-Fi, and plenty of space, you can grab a snack, recharge your electronics, and study. The new student lounge also hosts events for students, such as live music and game days. This gives students the opportunity to hang out, relax, and make new friends.
Check. 1, 2.
Although it may look like it, they are still not finished with the additions to the student lounge. There's also a convenience store in the works. The convenience store will offer snacks, drinks, and more for students who need something quick and easy. Relaxing is important for your mind and body, especially if you're getting piled with schoolwork. So next time you're feeling stressed, grab a pool stick, grab some friends, and relax, because you deserve it. We got to sit down with the Director of Student Life, who talks about the impacts and reasonings of the new student lounge.
My name is Eric Zymans. I'm the Director of Student Life here at the college. Yeah, so I think the Student Lounge really benefits students in providing a space for them to kind of be able to come in, socialize with each other, connect, have a space also just to relax between classes. We know that students typically have a very stressful day throughout the day, and having a space for them to be able to come and be that's just open all the time for them is really important. Really, the student lounge is a critical piece to student success. Even though it seems like it's just a fun space, it's actually really important for students to have this as a space for them to be in. I do think that so far our lounge is being used pretty effectively by students. We've seen a lot of traffic. The Recre system that we have, that's the Thomas rental system, allows us to track traffic and usage, and we're seeing a ton of usage. But as of right now, I think the response has been really great. We can see students in here both engaging with each other, relaxing, doing homework, all kinds of things like that, which is exactly what we plan for this space to be for students.
A warm welcome always begins with creating a welcoming atmosphere, something students in MATC's interior design program are quite familiar with.
To create a welcoming atmosphere through interior design, you're going to want to incorporate a lot of different colors, plants, textures, things like that. It brings more of the outside in to your space.
Interior design and welcoming environments go hand in hand. We work with all kinds of design elements to create a space that people feel like they're included in, that they can see themselves in, that they feel comfortable in.
Interior designers can go in several different paths. They can go into dealerships as interior designers. They can do commercial design. They can do kitchen and bath design. They can do home remodeling. They can do residential design. They can also go into graphic design too for interior design as well. They can go into product design, textile design, all of those different avenues.
Even before I graduated, I secured an internship, and that internship turned into employment after graduation. So I think that's one of the good things about the program. They do inspire, and in some cases they require a student to obtain an internship closer to graduation, which then paves the way for employment.
The programs at MATC can bring its students to levels they never dreamed were possible. Aga Artka, who graduated from MATC's interior design program back in 2006, experienced this firsthand.
So this year I was honored by being awarded an Women's in Construction Award, which is given out by the Daily Reporter. They recognize women in construction in various fields, and so I was nominated by my clients and colleagues, and I'm really thankful for that nomination and thankful for being awarded one of the Women in Construction Awards in the category of interior design.
MATC's interior design prepares its students with valuable experience that may not be accessible at other schools.
Things that we offer here over other schools is we have a lovely design library. So we have lots of different materials for the students to work with. We have cutting edge programs, so we're making sure that we're utilizing the correct AutoCAD, the correct SketchUp for the interior design industry. And we also have a board that we talk to as well, that to make sure that we're doing the right things for our students.
I think that MATC's programs in general are really focused on practical knowledge, and that's exactly what I got out of my studies here in the interior design program.
The things that they're going to need to expect to learn in class is they're going to learn a lot about color and a lot about light. They're going to learn hand drafting as well as AutoCAD, which is computer-based drafting. They're also going to learn their 3D modeling as well.
I love my job as an interior designer. It is such a creative field where everyone can make it to be what they want it to be. There's not one path for you to be an interior designer. And I think the school and the program at MATC specifically teaches you the flexibility and the resilience that's required to make it in this field and really make it your own.
Coming to the interior design program, you really want to know that this is going to be a lot more than just picking out colors and throw pillows. There's a lot of technology behind this. There's a lot of color and theory behind all the decisions that an interior designer makes. So know that it is a lot more than just colors.
The new lounge has certainly been welcomed by students, and Tanya does a great job making sure students learn about all aspects of design. And speaking of welcoming new additions to the school, joining us now is our new president of MATC, Dr. Anthony Cruz. Dr. Cruz, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, James. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Absolutely. Longtime Floridian coming to us from the Miami-Dade, Florida area. What came into your decision to want to come to Milwaukee and MATC?
Well, several reasons. We have a very vibrant college here. I was looking for a college that had multiple campuses, right, and had a big reach within the community. And I think that that's one big aspect of what MATC does. And also a very diverse campus, diverse in the students that we have, faculty and staff, and diversity in programs, right? We have over 180 programs. And so that really attracted me to come to MATC. And also my adult children also live in the Midwest. So coming back to the Midwest was a really good thing for us too.
Well, that's fascinating. Looking back at Miami and here, what are some of the differences between that college and other ones you've been at and MATC?
I think the big thing is the technical programs we offer here and the wide variety of technical programs. I've worked at several other two-year colleges, and they've mostly focused on AA degree transfer. We have that here at MATC as well, but just having the variety of programs really makes a big difference, right? Because in most of these programs, when students graduate from the programs, whether it be a certificate, diploma, degree, they're going to go out into the workforce, have a living wage, and it's a family sustaining wage, which is so important in the economy and the way it is today.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, Dr. Cruz, you mentioned our 180 programs here at our campuses. Any of those programs really attract your attention or something you really want to learn more about?
I think our health programs, our allied health programs are obviously one of the big focal points. Our nursing program is actually the largest program we have at MATC. And we just went through an accreditation process and did very well, and it's continuing to grow. And we know that this is very important for our community. I know there's an aging population. We want to make sure that we are addressing their needs. And so MATC does that through the nursing program and other programs here in the health field.
Right.
Okay, so Dr. Cruz, what's something that you want students to know about you that they wouldn't be able to find by themselves somewhere?
Wow. That's a really great question. Well, maybe you could see this from maybe my posts and things I do, but I'm a big baseball fan. And I love sports in general, going to live sporting events. And so whether it be, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Bucks live. I haven't been able to do that, but I got to see several Brewers games during the summer. And so looking forward to participating in more of those. And I also really enjoy seeing our own MATC athletic program. I just, the ladies volleyball team is doing extremely well. And so I love going to see them, our soccer, all the other sports as they evolve throughout. Now we're just going to start basketball season. So looking forward to watching those as well.
All right, Dr. Cruz, wrapping up here, what are some goals that you're going to set forth in your administration for our institution here?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is to increase enrollment. I think we have and we are poised to really add more to this community by increasing the number of students that we have at the college and also increasing our retention rates. It's very important. So providing the wraparound services that students need to be successful.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Dr. Cruz, for being with us here today, and we hope to have you back soon to celebrate some of those goals you've talked about here today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
All right. Moving forward, thank you, Dr. Cruz and Lauren, for being with us today. And now let's head over to the kitchen to talk to Chef Aiyana, whose only goal today is baking some sweet treats. Aiyana, what's in the oven over there?
Hey, thanks, James. This chilly fall air calls for something warm and sweet, so today we are baking pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Before we start, make sure you have the following ingredients, which are 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 cups of chocolate chips, and you will also need a cookie sheet. Cookies are like hugs, but for your taste buds. So in this bowl, I have some pumpkin puree and chocolate chips, and we're going to add in our ingredients, starting with the butter. We're going to break this down and mix it in there well. The point of this is so that we can have a nice moist base to dissolve our sugar in. And with the butter and the pumpkin all mixed together, we'll mix in the next ingredient, which is our bowl of sugar, 2 cups of sugar. And we'll just bring that in and give it some motion until the sugar starts to dissolve. This is the one thing that you don't want to see streaks of in a cookie is sugar, because it will create very overly sweet, hard pockets in a pastry. And now that we've got that mostly dissolved, we're going to add in our eggs. The moisture in the egg yolk and the egg white are going to help dissolve the sugar and keep everything binding together. Once we've done that, we can now add in our final ingredient, which will be the flour, which will give our cookies their shape. We want to start shaping the cookies, right? So once you get this together, we're gonna use our spoon to scoop up a dollop of cookie at a time and just deposit it onto our baking sheet. Hey, what did the cookie say after a rough day? I'm baked. As a pastry chef, I feel that every day. It's very demanding in this industry. And then over here, we'll start to drop in our cookie dough onto our cooking sheet, which we have prepared over here. This is what your cookies should look like before they go in the oven. You can use a spoon, whatever you're comfortable with, to place them on the sheet. After that, we'll start the baking process, 10 to 12 minutes, or until the cookies are to your liking. Once we've completed baking, our cookies should look something like this. Finally, you just want to let them cool and relax while you enjoy your warm treats. Thank you guys for baking with me today. I hope you guys have a great fall. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that recipe, Aiyana. Those look perfect for the fall season. Now let's see what James has for us in this week's MATC Minute.
Flu season is around the corner, so make sure your vaccinations are up to date. Visit MATC's Immunization Clinic on October 23rd in room 612 of the M building from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Visit matc.edu/events for information on how to schedule appointments. Don't have time to vote on November 5th? Visit the 3rd floor of the S building from now until November 3rd to cast your early voting ballot. Early voting is available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to noon. You must have a photo ID to vote. Looking for tips and tricks for easier studying? Well, join one of MATC's study prep groups. Groups will meet between 2 and 3 p.m. across multiple campuses throughout October. Check with your student life coordinator for information on how to RSVP. Show your school pride this week for Homecoming Spirit Week. Join fellow students for a pep rally at 4:30 p.m. this Thursday. Be sure to wear your MATC gear during MATC Pride Day. And let's cheer on the MATC women's volleyball team this Friday as they head to South Helen, Illinois for a doubleheader. Go Stormers.
Thanks for that, James. We wish the Stormers the best of luck. But before we head inside for volleyball, let's head outside where student producer Isabella Riveros is at the Urban Ecology Center for this week's GEM KE.
Hi, I'm student producer Isabella Riveros. I'm here enjoying the beautiful green space at the Urban Ecology Center, a place where everyone is welcome. And this is another hidden GEM KE. I'm currently in the heart of the east side of Milwaukee in Riverside Park, and can you believe it? The beautiful nature I'm surrounded by. There is so much to explore. Anyone, regardless of age, culture, income, or ability, is welcome here, and originally it was called Friends of Riverside Park.
For the first decade, it operated out of a double-wide trailer by volunteers. Today, it's grown into a great community center. There is a whole lot to do here. Check out the animal room and say hi to Paul for me. Find the slide and the camouflaged room. Borrow equipment on special days. Go for a climb. Step out onto the Oak Leaf Trail. explore the riverside behind the center.
Or just cozy up next to the fireplace to study.
Whether you're interested in any of these things or just want to come hang out and make new friends,
every trip is not only a new adventure, but also a place to nurture your life's routines. I'm student producer Isabella Riveros, and this is another Hidden Gem KE.
That looks like a great place to explore the outdoors, and I think our co-host and guests would certainly agree. Speaking of which, I want to thank both of you for joining us here on the show today, Laura and Dr. Cruz.
Yeah, thank you, James. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. And thanks to all of you for tuning in to another episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles. We hope you'll join us again next week.